intelligence officer. Sir, mass grave nung komunista yan. Pinatay yan during 2012. Nung pinatay yan, 2012, may ICC pa. Payag ba tayo na yung mga progressive group, pati yung mga congresswomen, congressmen na progressive group, ay bigla na lang kukunin, isasakay sa airplano, dadalhin sa Hague, na hindi sila makakapunta sa Philippine courts? So whatever kasi we decide here and whatever as a nation we decide, Madam Chair, is applicable to all of us. Di ba yung sinabi ni President Erap na weather lang yan? Kaya kailangan may batas. Para kahit anong weather, klaro yung karapatan mo. So let me stop there, but thank you for that intervention, Madam.
Maraming salamat. At meron ibang katanungan yung ating mga kababayan. At ito naman yung tungkol sa executive order ng US. Noong March 28, ang sinabi ng gobyerno, ICC has no jurisdiction. Etong taon na ito, this is just the latest in a series of statements na ang ICC walang jurisdiction dito sa ating bansa. Gusto ko sanang tanungin ulit sa ating executive kung ang dating Pangulong Duterte ay nasa ilalim ng protected person under the executive order issued by the US President Trump, which imposed sanctions on the International Criminal Court. Kasi si Presidente Trump, hindi niya gusto yung ICC, di ba? Hindi nga nakilahok ang Amerika dyan. Under Section 8D2 of the EO, any foreign person who's a citizen or ally of the US that has not consented to ICC jurisdiction, o parang Pilipinas, over that person or state party is a protected person sa ilalim nung kay Presidente Trump. So ang Pilipinas hindi na state party. At yung executive, sinasabi naman na hindi talaga ICC ang may jurisdiction sa atin. Kaya gusto ko sana tanungin, si Presidente Duterte ba ay isa sa protected person sa ilalim ng executive order ni Presidente Trump? Non-NATO ally na former or current official. So gusto ko malaman kung si PRRD nga ay protected person sa ilalim ng executive order, sino ang mako-cover sa asset freeze under Section 1 ng executive order ni Presidente Trump? Pwede bang parusahan ang mga sumapi sa pag-aresto katulad ni General Torre? Anong mangyayari kina Garma at kina Leonardo? Kasi ang pagkaalam natin, yung iba sa kanila at yung pamilya nila ay nasa Amerika na. Sakop ba sila nung executive order ni Presidente Trump? So yan ang mga katanungan natin kasi lumalawak na lumalawak itong pagsisiyasat natin. Umabot na sa US kung saan alam natin nagtatago sila. Kaya nag-aalala ako ano ba nangyari rito. So paano yun? Gusto ko sana ipaliwanag ng ating justice pero wala sila. Kaya justice lang po tayo. Pero importante po to. Ngayon, yung administrative arrest, may DOJ local opinion, legal opinion raw, na lumabas noong November 21, 2024. Nakita po namin ito Nasa website ngayon, nag-disappear na. Hindi na siya nandun. At ang liwanag doon sa legal opinion na mismo yung DOJ USEC na sumulat nito, ang balita ko si Yusek Chan, the DOJ does not consider an Interpol Red Notice an arrest warrant. Ang liwanag naman doon. At sinabi rin na the Philippines cannot deport your own citizen. Ang liwanag ng pagkasabi. The ICC, again, no jurisdiction. Then the ICC warrant could not have been the basis for the arrest. Kung yung red notice o diffusion is not a warrant of arrest, ang tanong ko, ano ang legal basis ng aresto? Ngayon, ang sabi ng gobyerno, yung turnover to the ICC was a surrender. Surrender na po to under Article 17 of RA 9851 and the Rome Statute, walang pakialam sa Rome Statute kasi hindi na nga tayong member. I need to point out that before they can actually surrender PRRD, they have to arrest him to have him in custody. If there was no warrant issued by the court for PRRD's arrest, does that mean that it was an administrative arrest? Was the administrative arrest valid? Was the DOJ or whoever ordered the arrest empowered under 9851 to effect an administrative arrest? Nakakatuwa kasi kanina nabasa ko lang sa dyaryo, tamang-tama, na yung spokesman ng ICC, Dr. Fadi L. Abdallah, sinabi that the surrender of former Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte of the ICC to the ICC was a decision entirely made by the Philippine government. And if there is any question about whether it was lawful or not, it will have to be submitted to the judges. So, mismo yung ICC, sinabi na ang Pilipinas ang nag-surrender sa dating Pangulo. Siguro, si Attorney Medina na naman, magpapasaklolo tayo. Ano ba ibig sabihin ng administrative arrest? At tama ba na sinuko ng Pilipinas si PRRD sa ICC?
Magandang umaga po, Madam Chair. Thank you for the invitation. Good morning po, Senator Bato de la Rosa. Good morning po, Senator Bongo. Going back to the question, administrative arrests. Actually, the Supreme Court has recently clarified that administrative warrants for the arrest of non-Filipinos are actually valid. But these administrative arrests apply only to non-Filipinos in deportation proceedings, at least from the case decided by the Supreme Court, it involved a foreigner. Now, we must also take note that in that recent case, that's a landmark case, because in this decision, the Supreme Court introduced an innovation. Historically, administrative arrests and deportation process are purely administrative, no court intervention. But this time, the Chief Justice who wrote the decision, and upon the suggestion of Supreme Court Justice Marvick Leonen, they introduced a new rule. Under this new rule, even if a non-foreigner is arrested on the basis of an administrative warrant, they must still inform the regional trial court and wait for the regional trial court to issue a judicial commitment order. Therefore, there is now a duty on the part of police officers or immigration officers, even when arresting a foreigner, to bring this person to the jurisdiction of the courts. So this represents a new trend. If a foreigner should be brought to a Philippine court before he is removed from the country, with more reason that a Filipino citizen should be subjected to some judicial proceedings before surrendered to a foreign government. And as I have explained earlier, from the constitutional level, from the statutory framework, even under international law, surrender of a Filipino citizen without court proceedings may be illegal. That's not just constitutional, that's also statutory, even under international law. In fact, the Interpol Constitution itself requires some due process, the application of Philippine laws, and number two, the application of the rights guaranteed by the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which includes due process. Thank you po.
Attorney Medina, so ano ang nakikita ninyo kung inaamin ng ICC na ang surrender ni dating Presidente Duterte ay isang desisyon na ginawa ng Pilipino na pamahalaan? Anong epekto nun? Ang ibig ba sabihin ay linabag yung kanyang karapatan? Kasi tulad nga ng sinabi nyo doon sa kaso ni Yuenle noong 2023, bagong-bago pa lamang, talagang kinakailangan dalhin pa sa RTC yan, meron pang proseso. 7 yata yung requirement. Kung
Opo.
naaalala ko, ang dami-daming sinasabi
Opo.
doon na talagang pinagtatanggol ang karapatan mismo